Right here. It's
Okay,
right.
perfect.
Is it behind you? Okay.
There we go. It wasn't.
Well, if it's up there, it's here.
It wasn't 2 seconds ago. That's why I
okay,
asked.
Yeah, so it's here. Thank you
Okay.
for asking.
I'm here tonight on behalf of the applicant, Big Jules Dispensary, and also Cornelius Jones, one of the principals who's here with me tonight, seeking site plan approval for an adult use retail cannabis dispensary and associated site improvements to this existing site. The property is located on the south side of Long Island Avenue, about 413 feet east of Comac Road in Deer Park. It has a lot area of half an acre and it's zoned Industry G. It's presently improved with a 7,445 square foot industrial building that was used as a tire and auto repair center previously. What they are seeking to do is retrofit the building, so to speak, use the structure that's there. The landlord is leasing the space to them, and so by changing the facade and doing interior alterations, they're hoping to have their retail cannabis dispensary here. The site abuts the LIRR to the south, and there are other uses to the east and west that are also industrial, such as an auto collision site and a fencing wholesaler. There's also cold storage across the street and some car rentals. So it's definitely an industrial area. The interior alterations to this 7,445 square foot building would essentially change the entire inside to the use of retail cannabis. And as you can see, there would also be certain facade improvements. The landlord wanted to keep the overhead doors. However, they're not all going to be used as overhead doors. So I'll get into that a little bit when we talk about the architecture. So there, obviously you could see it's a huge facade change to the building from what it looks like now. In terms of site improvements, we would be providing new drainage for the site, pavement markings that aren't there now, landscape features, and a refuse enclosure that will meet all town specs. There are 2 existing curb cuts on the site that will get brand new concrete aprons, so they'll be fully repaired. They exceed the town specifications for width. There'll be the existing 7-foot sidewalk and curbing will be improved and modified to what the town has required. That's along Long Island Avenue. There'll be a new 5-foot crosswalk that will be painted within the westerly side of the property. That'll link the front sidewalk and allow people to cross the parking lot and get to the front of the building. In the easterly part of the site, there'll be a new refuse enclosure, again, that will meet town specs, and the turning radius has been vetted through the town DEC and has been accepted. There are 2 existing light poles on the property that will be relocated as part of the application. We have the requisite drive aisle of 24 feet, and as you can see, the parking will be mainly located along the front of the building. So along the front of the building, we'll have 12 spaces, and then there'll be 4 more spaces to the side for a total of 16 provided parking spaces. There will be protective bollards in front of the building where the head-in parking spaces are, as required by planning. And 2 Sprinter delivery vans will be permitted to be stored inside the building. So there'll be no overnight outside storage. However, planning has said that these 2 delivery vans would be permitted to utilize the overhead door that you see there where Mr. Esposito is pointing out. So that overhead door would be utilized, and the delivery vans could go in and out of the building from that overhead door. It also provides a more secure way to accept delivery of merchandise because you're inside. Again, no outside storage is being proposed. The building is essentially larger than what's needed for the use. However, you kind of come to the site, and because these sites are difficult to find in terms of meeting the requisite radius areas. You have to maintain certain distances from other uses. So users have to kind of make do with the buildings they can find. So what we find here is a building that might be slightly larger in square footage than what is needed. And so then it generates a higher parking requirement. So while we're providing 16 spaces, we're technically required to have 21 spaces. But if we look at how the site breaks down, and I'm going to break that down for you, I think you'll see that we we feel we have a strong chance of getting our parking variance, and there have been other similar uses that have gotten parking variances as well. So the retail space in this building will be 2,083 square feet. So that is requiring 10.4 spaces for the actual retail use. Then we have storage area and delivery area, where I pointed out earlier the vans would be coming in, and that's about 4,008 square feet. So it's like double the size of retail, and that's requiring 6 spaces right there. There's a small office space of 517 square feet. That calculation requires another 3.4 spaces. And then there's a mechanical room that's calculated at 1 per 700, and that's 1.19 spaces. So when you add it all up, we're required to have 21, the site's providing 16. However, there's a lot of overlap in the use on this site. The employees that will be working here, they're not solely going to be working in the retail area or solely working in the storage area. You know, they're gonna overlap. They'll have guys and gals working in the storage area, taking in merchandise and then bringing it inside the retail store, about 5 to 6 employees, and then there would be a driver who would be coming and going from the site. You know, any given shift, there could be 1 or 2 more employees depending on how busy they get, but we do feel we have enough spaces to accommodate both the employees and customers who are coming in and out of the site. It's not the type of use that you spend a lot of time at. So it's your usual, I'm sure this board has heard this before, you know, you come in the vestibule, you have to be 21 or over, there's security at the front door checking IDs. You come in and then you're greeted and you're brought to the different display cases where they have the different types of merchandise. And then they have the point of sale, the different registers where you would purchase your products, and then, you know, you would exit the site. It is our understanding that other cannabis stores in the town, such as Strain Stars on Route 110 and Budding Industry on East Industry Court in Deer Park, got significant parking variances. So for example, Strain Stars was required to have 290 spaces, and they only had 174, and they were granted that variance. And Budding Industry was required to have 87, and they only had 60, and they were granted the variance. So we are confident that we are parking the proper spaces for this site, and we do understand there is condition number 18 in the memo that talks about if there are complaints regarding spillover that are received by the town, then the owner/applicant will be notified that they will have to address those parking concerns, and they may have to lease off-site parking for the site. But they would be given the opportunity, obviously, to address those concerns at that time. The hours of operation would be the same as the other stores, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 9, Sunday, 10 to 8. Of course, no on-site consumption, no events being held on-site. And again, we do meet all the criteria for the surrounding area for how many feet we're away from the other various uses. Our architect, Harold Gebhardt, is here with us tonight. If the board has any specific questions regarding the facade or the floor plan, we're happy to address them. But that's pretty much, that's the presentation.
Okay. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Dan?
Can you go back to the floor plan? So I have a question. So on the left side, on my left, it says merchandise area, sales area, 448 square feet. And then there's on the other side, the sales area. So what's the difference between the two? And why is only one having the state required double security check?
Harold, do you know the answer to that? I'll get you an answer.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. So merchandising.
No, you're very,
Yeah, so I get it.
what is the answer to that
So the
question?
answer is basically like gear, like sweatshirts, socks, hats, things that merchandise the name. Yeah. that sort of thing. So nothing that would require security to let you in or that sort of thing. So the cannabis would not be sold on that side. So that's merchandising, like merch,
Got it.
like what the kids say. My daughter would say, oh, I want merch,
Selling-
like every
Are you
concert.
selling Knicks jerseys too? You missed out. You missed that one. Okay,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
thank you. Okay, are there any other questions? I have a question regarding the typical customer experience, and it ties into the parking. How long does a typical customer spend in the dispensary, making, from the time, they come in until the sale? How long is that
I
typically?
think it depends on the customer. So some people come to the site and they know what they're looking for. There's different types of product. Some are used to maybe help you go to sleep at night, and some may be used for other reasons. And so if someone's coming to the site who might be new to the products, they would spend a little more time because they'd be talking with an associate about what they're looking to benefit, how they're looking to benefit from the product, versus someone who's coming in, maybe they're a repeat customer and they know exactly what they want and they come in, or maybe they've ordered online before or something like that. So I wouldn't imagine that people are spending a great deal of time here, but it could vary depending on whether you're, for lack of a better word, a newbie or someone who's maybe more accustomed to the product.
So there are online sales.
Yes. Yes, so if there are online sales, then it would be
You
a
can't say
quicker.
if you weren't sworn in. Your attorney.
He's telling me, yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you have online sales. And what percentage of the sales are typically in a store versus online and then delivered?
Well, I don't believe they have another location yet, so they're kind of new to this,
Well,
so I
in the
don't know that they
industry,
have a
in the
statistic for
region,
that.
Typically. Is it 40%, 20%? I'm just curious what the difference is, or if there's any difference between those who come in to the dispensary versus those who buy online and then it's delivered.
I don't know that answer.
Could you check with your client?
About 15 to 20% online would be anticipated versus people coming in person.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, are there any other questions? Ed?
Security, do you have security inside and outside, and are any of the security guards armed?
There'll be people watching the parking lot to make sure there's no on-site consumption and to, watch over the facility itself. Would any security be on? Possibly, but obviously they'd have to be licensed.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
They would have to be licensed.
Of course, yeah.
And properly trained. Anything else? No? Okay.
Is there going to be any signage of the vehicles being stored inside the facility, outside? So the vans at night that are parked inside the facility in case of an emergency? Are there any signs letting the local fire department know that there's vehicles inside?
If that's required, then they can do that.
I'm just asking. We don't have any intentions on doing that just yet.
There are? There will be, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Good question. No? All right. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board regarding this application? No. Okay. Since there's no one here that would like to address the board regarding this application, I'm going to request a motion from the board to close the hearing and to reserve decision. Let's see. Motion?
Make a motion.
Okay, motion. Motion by Robert, second by Dan.
Second.
All in favor? The public hearing is now closed. The decision, though, has been reserved in order for us to review any feedback or if there are any open site plans or any other open issues. The record, of course, will remain open for written comments. For anyone to follow up on the status of the application or to submit additional written comments, you can contact the Planning Department in a number of different ways. In person, planning is located on the west wing of Town Hall. Application documents and plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or by phone, 631-957-3103, or by email, planningcomments@townofbabylonny.gov.
Thank you very much. Have a
Thank you
great
very
night.
much. Thank you, you too. Okay. All right, that concludes our informational hearing. We will close our live stream.